Hey YouTube, Kira Qualia here, bringing you guys my Nightmareland deck profile for January 2017. I've been actually meaning to give you guys this deck profile for a good while now. It's a really cool deck. Nightmareland was support that was given to Dark Irregulars throughout most of the Vanguard sets, and we finally got full support for the deck in Set 8. So the whole focus of the deck is just to have power stat columns of multiple rear guards and vanguards using all the units in the deck. So let's go ahead and get started. For grade 3s, I run 4 Queen of Nightmareland, Heart Truth. She has a GB1 effect of Counterblast 1 and choose one of your rear guards and retire it. When this unit attacks or is attacked, you may pay the cost. If you do, this unit gets plus 1,000 for each card with Nightmareland and its card name in your soul until the end of that battle. So it's a defensive and offensive tactic. You run as many Nightmareland cards as possible in this deck, so you have good chance for soul buildup with this card. And the fact that it's a defense strategy as well, and it's only a GB1, makes it very easy to get off. And it's your main Vanguard to be on, basically. So when you attack, you'll get that power boost, and a CV1 means you can get this effect off a good amount of times. For backup grade 3, I run 3 King of Masks, Donterion. He is the Break Ride that gives additional power up. So with her Break Ride on top of this unit, you'll have the plus 10 from Donterion. Donterion will give plus power to rear guards, and you'll have her own counterblast as well. Yeah, Donterion isn't a Nightmareland card, but I just find him great because when he attacks, he soul charges for the boost. So you'll put Nightmarelands hopefully into the soul as well with his ability. Now for moving on to grade 2s, I run 4 Doom of Nightmareland. If Dre of Nightmareland is in your soul, this unit gets plus 2,000. It is the rear guard effect, putting this card at an 11k attack. And when this unit attacks a Vanguard, this unit gets plus 2,000 power for each card named Dumb of Nightmareland in your soul until the end of that battle. So it's another power-up boost card. For the requirements, all you have to do is have Dre of Nightmareland in the soul, which is very easy to accomplish. I said Dre, but I meant to say D. The critical trigger, plenty of times where I, soul charge critical triggers and other triggers with this deck, even though you don't necessarily want to. It happens more than enough. So even just having one in the soul is enough to give it the 11k power, which at most times can hit the Vanguard. I also run 4 Dark Soul Conductors, basically going for more of a budget build with this version. If you have the Squall Makers, you can run those for soul charge power. Since the original units for the deck are GBs, you do have to have stride cost. But Dark Soul Conductor is when this unit is placed in the drop zone from the guard circle. If you have a Dark Regular Vanguard, you may soul charge 2. So it's just another easy soul build up with guard restriction. So if you place this on the guard circle from intercepting, or you just place it down from your hand, it's an easy soul charge 2. Also, to finish up the grade 2s, I run 3 Emblem Master. This is another early game pressure card because it's a Vanguard or rear guard effect for Counterblast 1. When this unit attack hits a Vanguard, you soul charge 3. Like I said, it works on Vanguard, so either your opponent will want to guard the Vanguard attack, or else they'll risk putting 3 cards in your soul with this unit. For grade 1s, I run 4 March Rabbit of Nightmareland. It's a Nightmareland Perfect Guard. We've had it since set 3. Like I said, we've gotten plenty of Nightmareland support over the packs, even the first pack of Dark Irregulars of their main support. Just the best one to use in my opinion, just because you want to run max Nightmareland passibility. Basically perfect to have with this card. Plus you can protect your rear guards also, since it's not a unflip Perfect Guard. And I also run 4 Dormouse of Nightmareland. You rest this unit and choose one of your Vanguards, and it gets plus 1,000 for each card with Nightmareland and its card name in your soul until the end of the turn. So it's a soul boost up power effect just by resting this card. And the other effect is when this unit is put into the drop zone from rear, you soul charge 1. Then if this unit during your turn choose one of your units with Nightmareland, its card name, it gets plus 4,000. So the whole basis of Nightmareland, like I said, is power boosting, and this just helps because you can use your own Vanguard's effect along with this one to reach very high power boosts. Also, especially if you break ride. And I also run 3 Courting Succubus. She is the one when this unit attack hits a Vanguard. If she boosted, you can soul charge 1. If you want to run the Stride Enabler, you can go ahead and replace that card in here, the Stride Assist, basically. Or you can run Alluring Succubus for soul charge power. I like her just for that boost ability. It gives me incentive to want to call boosters for units in the deck. But like I said, this spot in the deck is, pretty much viable for whatever you want to use. To finish off the grade 1s, I run 3 Bloody Calf. This is just so you have retire power with the deck. You counterblast 2, and you may pay the cost if you choose one of your opponent's grade 1 or less rear guards and retire it. So it's kill power. I didn't want to run Gwyn the Ripper in this deck just because my grade 2 spots were kind of full. If you want to run Gwyn, I would most likely recommend taking out maybe 1 of the Emblem Masters and 2 of the Dark Soul Conductors. Just make sure your grade 2s don't get a little too scattered. But 3 Bloody Calf, early game retire, kill their starters, kill pesky grade 1s. Great card to run. Now moving on to the trigger lineup, which is the only thing in the deck that stayed true to Nightmareland because we have plenty of Nightmareland triggers, are the grade 0s. For your starter, you run Spade Jack of Nightmareland. When your unit rides this unit, you draw a card, choose a card from your hand, put it into your soul. So it's immediate soul build up from the beginning, and then from your soul during your turn, when your G unit strides, you may pay the cost. If you do, call this card to rear, and if you do, soul charge 1. So it doesn't have a Forerunner effect in the beginning. It does have a draw power and soul power effect, which is very nice. And the fact that it calls out later with additional soul charge makes it the perfect setup starter for this deck. And I run also 4 D of Nightmareland. You put this unit into your soul. If you have a Vanguard with Nightmareland and its card name, choose up to 1 of your units, and it gets plus 1,000 for each card with its Nightmareland and its card name, and in your soul until the end of the turn. And if this unit is chosen by a card effect, you draw a card. So it's great soul building power. Like I said, once again, you have the critical trigger to go off of power boosts. You have the mouse. You have the grade 3. You have so many options with this deck for soul build up power that you could possibly potentially get your Vanguard up to 4K power if you reach enough unit boosts with these 2 units and your Break Ride and her alone. You'll reach plus 4K, putting her at 5K without boost, which is incredibly good, unless your opponent obviously perfect cards. And I also run 4 Dark Knight of Nightmareland. Another effect, critical trigger, which is very good. It's a put into soul for plus 3 effect. I think it's actually the most expensive Nightmareland card out there just because it's viable in a lot of dark regular decks. But the plus 3 power, along with the soul buildup, helps for the whole purpose of the Nightmareland in soul. And also 4 Mad Hatter of Nightmareland. I'm just a fan of the draw triggers. Hand consistency with this deck is the biggest problem. There's not too many draw support cards, so this is where this comes in. And for heals, I like to run 2 Alice of Nightmareland and 2 Cheshire Cat of Nightmareland, just because like I said, we have a mash variety of triggers for Nightmareland. So yeah, that's it for the deck profile. I hope you guys enjoyed. Please don't forget to like and subscribe. I'll be looking forward to giving you guys more deck profiles in the future, so look forward for that. And Kira Qualia out.